Hello, welcome back to another video on my channel. I am the Survival Architect, and today I'm showing off the proof of concept for an iron farm. This is not a fully optimized farm. I've literally just slapped it together really quickly, but it's working. This is an iron farm. This one layer alone produces around 1,000 iron an hour. It's a bit touch and go depending on kind of how long it takes for an iron golem to move into the portals, but it's around 1,000 iron an hour. Now, this farm makes use of the nether, as well as villager mechanics when they get scared by a zombie, to spawn iron golems efficiently and transport them into the nether, which has its own separate processing facility. So, I'm going to pop through into the nether now and show off that processing facility. Then we'll come back here and I will explain kind of the general principle behind the villager modules. We're over here in the nether now, and this is the processing facility for the iron golem farm. So, I've just come through this portal. I'll explain what this is in a second, but here is the processing area. So, we've just got another portal here, which all of those 8 portals that were in the farm all link to. And whenever an iron golem passes through the portals, they pop out here. Now, you're not going to see any come through while I'm in the nether now, simply because it's currently not loaded. But if I go down here, you can see the iron golems, when they all pop through, end up pushing each other out of the portal and into this lava, because their hitboxes overlapping. So if I go F3 and B, you can see that these guys don't have overlapping hitboxes. But say another golem comes through, they're going to have overlapping hitboxes, so they'll end up pushing each other into the lava. Now, they drop out of the portal into this lava here. They then get moved across and drop down, and end up dying in this lava here, dropping all their items into these hoppers. Now, I've left this running for, what is that, half an hour? And it's already produced this much iron. So, it's pretty... Oh, I just killed some iron. It's pretty efficient. But and it works really, really well for, such a small and relatively easy to construct design. But the other thing that's required is, because we're using a farm that goes between the nether and the overworld, we need one of these things. Now, this is what's known as a chunk loader, and this is not my design. I will put the link to the design in the description of the video down below. But what this does is, you saw the minecart coming through just now. This on the nether side is the receiving side, and it kind of dumps everything back through. The minecart will automatically go back through into the overworld. But when a minecart or any sort of entity passes through a portal, it loads a 3x3 chunk area around it. Now, if I go F3 and G, the chunk borders are shown. So the portal is in this chunk here. Now, a chunk is a 16 by 16 area. Each one of these is 2 blocks wide, so there's 8 of those squares. And it's a 16 by 16 area that goes from sky limit, which is just there, all the way down to bedrock. Now, these blue lines denote sub-chunks. Now, I'm not going to explain those in this video. This is not a mob farming video. This is an iron farm video. So I don't need to explain them in this video. If you want to know what sub-chunks are, I think Ilmango has some really good videos explaining how it works, as does Razorworks, so I'll put links to their videos in the description as well. But all you need to know is that a chunk is a 16 by 16 area for this video. Now, this portal, I just broke that. This portal is in this chunk here, which means that this chunk, this chunk, this chunk, these 2 chunks, and these 3 chunks here are all loaded when that minecart comes through the portal. Just so happens that I've got an iron farm portal that needs to be loaded that's also within this 3 chunk limit. So, minecart comes through, makes sure all of this is loaded, all the mob processing stuff happens here automatically on its own. I don't have to be in the nether. But if we pop back through into the overworld, you can see that this is a bit too far away from the iron farm for it to chunk load that. So we're all the way out here. That's more than 3 chunks away. So you have to AFK over in the overworld for this, just around the farm. Alternatively, you can build it in the spawn chunks. This one isn't because I have a bunch of stuff over in the spawn chunks, wherever that is. But if it's not on the spawn chunks, you will have to AFK out. So here we've got one of the villager modules. Now, for a villager to be eligible to spawn an iron golem when they get scared, they need to have slept in the last day-night cycle, and they need to have worked in the last day-night cycle, which means you have to have accessible workstations and accessible beds. Now, I've kind of reinvented the wheel here. I didn't need to. There's probably someone out there who's made a way more efficient design with this, where the villagers just stay in one place, and But I've chosen to do it this way, and this fulfills all the requirements to spawn an iron golem, as you just saw. So each one of these 8 villager modules will spawn an iron golem every 30 seconds, because there is always a 30-second delay between each villager, or each village that this module is technically by the game considered a village. 30 seconds between each village spawning an iron golem. So theoretically, every 30 seconds, each one of these could spawn an iron golem. They're more than 10 blocks apart, so they shouldn't see other iron golems. If they do, that's okay. Again, this just a proof of concept for a farm, not an actual fully fledged optimized farm. But to scare them, because they're not staying in one place, they can't be bobbed up and down with water. So what I've done is over here with the zombie, I'm simply hiding it with some pistons that are extending. Now, this is just using a simple comparator clock. It's not very lag friendly, but again, proof of concept. I don't know how to make anything anything super lag friendly, because I only play single player. But in here is one item, and your typical comparator clock design goes around, does some stuff. That's the villager modules, and that's how they work. Now, and there goes another iron golem. I do want to reiterate that this is not a fully optimized farm. Currently, there are problems like this, where an iron golem has spawned in another block, and you just have to kind of give it a nudge to get it out. Then it flows into the portal. I've also got a lightning rod up here to stop lightning from hitting any of the villager modules and turning them into witches. I actually had that problem when I was testing the farm out, and it really annoyed me that all my villagers kept getting turned into witches, and then the farm would just not function. So you do need a lightning rod just to stop the occasional weather event from messing everything up. The other thing you'll notice is that apart from the mess down there, I have spawn-proofed every block that isn't in the water stream. So over here, all of these blocks are spawn-proof. No iron golems can spawn on either redstone dust or repeaters or comparators, or on carpets. So anything that is at an even, or on slabs, by the way. Mobs can't spawn on a half slab. So if you see there's that half slab space there, they can't spawn on anything that has that half slab space there. They could spawn here, which is why the carpets are there. But that essentially ensures that all the iron golems spawn in this area here. Now, with the iron golems that are spawning in the blocks, they do usually move out of the way. So far, I haven't found a way to combat that, but again, I don't know what I'm doing. I just kind of slapped this together in an afternoon because I felt like it. So here you can see the purpose of the pistons. When the pistons are extended, the villagers can't actually see the zombies, so they don't really care that the zombie's there. They just go to sleep. Then the pistons retract, and they all get terrified out of their minds, get out of bed, and spawn an iron golem, which then pops through here. So to ensure that this village doesn't see the iron golem from this village, I actually do need a pretty big spawning platform here. So I've got a 21 block long portal, which is actually the maximum that I've been able to find for portal length. And that's 5 blocks tall. Or, is that 5 blocks? 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks tall. And then there are 8 of those portals going along here. Now there's 2 portals between each module, as you can see here. And there are a total of 8 modules in the entire system. In between each portal, there are 5 blocks, and on top of them is a water source here and a water source here. All the way down here. So essentially, no matter where you land, except if it's in the middle of those 2 water sources, you get moved across. Like that. Now, an iron golem can't spawn halfway between two blocks, which is the only place that you won't move, which is perfect because it means that they will always immediately move to the portal. Over on these edges over here, it's only 3 blocks wide, and that's essentially to stop iron golems from somehow nudging each other up here and then running across here and somehow jumping up on here and then hitting the zombie and killing it. It also just really quickly moves them into the portal. So that's the whole point of this design, is to get them out of the overworld as quickly as possible. Get them into the nether where they can then be processed. Obviously, inefficiencies like this need to be sorted out, but that can come at a later date. I wanted to show this off first. The last thing I want to say about this farm is that this actually seems like a gap that the villagers can walk through. Like, I can fly through it without any... What did I just break? Without any problems, and that's... but the villagers can't. And if I turn on the hitboxes, it becomes clear why. Their hitbox just collides with this top block here. Now, they're running around and being annoying, so I can't push them into the block to show you, but they will not fall out of this, I promise you. I've spent a few hours AFKing at mine in my survival world. They've not fallen out. It won't be a problem. So that is pretty much all I've got for this farm. So as I said, there's not really much more to say about this farm. You can build it at any height in the world so long as there aren't blocks around it. And it can be stacked on top of one another. You just need 10 blocks between the top of this portal and the bottom, like this bottom water layer, on the next layer of the farm. Otherwise, the villagers can see the iron golems, and it all just ruins the efficiency. So that's the proof of concept for an iron farm done. This farm, once again, produces 1,000 iron an hour, which, you know, relatively good for a proof of concept that hasn't been optimized at all. But that is all I've got for this video. If you enjoyed it, please hit that like button. And if you want to see more, or want to keep up to date with the development of this farm, then feel free to hit the subscribe button, and I will see you in the next video, which should be another episode of my single player survival world. So, thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.